Hello everyone, I'm Adrian Clarke and welcome to the breakdown. So then Arsenal's run of clean sheet victories came to an end on Saturday evening at Sunderland. 2-2 draw, it finished. There was a lot of frustration at the final whistle and I completely understand that. But we've had a little bit of time now, haven't we, to let the dust settle. So how do we fairly look back and assess that performance? And more importantly, what do we learn about the team, about certain individual players? Well, let's break it down, shall we? And crack straight on. And maybe the best way to do it is to sort of divide things up with the first half, the second half, and then all important injury time. We didn't start well. I think that much is fair to say. Sunderland looked sharper. They were more assertive. They sort of got in our faces and disrupted the flow. I don't think the referee helped the flow of the game, actually, because every time we touched one of their players, they hit the deck, and it just broke up the play and the pattern of the game. But in general, we were a little bit sluggish, I think, in that first period, and maybe that's understandable. We've been to Burnley, been to Prague, and now we ended up on Wearside. It's a quite challenging week, a lot of travelling, and we looked a little bit weary early on. And I think the first thing I want to show you is our crossing map from that first half, because it felt as if we did too much of it. Not enough bravery on the ball, not enough off the ball runs, not enough forward passes. So what we ended up doing was just helping the ball into the box. And that really played into Sunderland's hands. Three big centre halves, and they coped with it well. Have a look here at the crossing map. And I think what you'll notice here is that none of them are from the byline. Very few successful crosses, a lot coming in from the left. In fairness, we did create our best chance of the first half from one of those crosses. And it was from Calafiori, wasn't it, into Bukayo Saka, who knotted it down for Saliba. We can see the chance now here on the screen, and it's a big opportunity, isn't it? He really should score there. Saka does ever so well, I think, just to nod it down. He's on the penalty spot exactly. There's lots of time around him, William Saliba, and you would really expect him, even though he's a centre half, to find the target at least. And if he finds the target, he's got a very, very good chance of scoring from that kind of range. So that was a big chance that got away. But in general, we didn't stretch them. We didn't get to the byline. We've curled too many in-swingers into the area that Sunderland dealt with. Now, in the second half, we made considerably less. I don't need to show you them. It's only really towards the end where Saka whipped a couple of beauties towards the far post, where Calafiori obviously almost scored at the end. But we consciously made more of an effort not to cross the ball as much in the second half. It felt like we got back into that horseshoe pattern of passing, didn't it? In the first half as well, a little bit pedestrian, slow, everyone behind the ball. Here is our successful passes map from the first half. And I think that shows exactly what I'm talking about. So they're all green arrows, they're all successful passes, but you see the horseshoe shape there. Around the D, very little or nothing really in terms of penetration. Just a couple of passes, 2 or 3 into the box that actually was successful in finding a teammate. So that was the pattern of that first half. Now, I think what is fair to do now, and just to give you an idea, having just seen that horseshoe and how empty the box was, let's show you the second half, where the percentage of our passes rose from 55% forward passes to 64.6% forward passes. So a lot more of our balls were going in the right direction in the second half, and this here is what it looked like in the second half. And as you can see, so many passes slipped into the box, so many runners, much more chaos. We had Zubimendi popping up there, Saka popping up in different areas, loads and loads of different individuals made runs into the box, and we were bold enough to play those passes. So it was a big, big difference after the break in terms of our distribution. But we'll get to the second half not too very, very shortly. I've got to talk about the opening goal first, and let's sort of analyse that as best we can. It's a fairly basic goal. It was the first that Arsenal conceded in 812 minutes in all competitions, which is a fantastic achievement, and I think they'll be disappointed with the nature of it. First up, was it a free kick? No, of course it wasn't a free kick. It was a clean tackle from Zubimendi in the heart of midfield, And not only did he concede a foul, he also got a yellow card. Ridiculous, in my opinion. And we were made to pay. Sunderland did, I think, fancy themselves, but every time they pumped the ball into our box, they felt like they could get something. And that's what they did for the opening goal. So let's take a little look at what went wrong, shall we? Here we go then. The ball comes from the goalkeeper just inside his own half. And Declan Rice has Ballard, and he's initially in a good position to stand in behind him to go and win the header. And what he does here, and I've just referenced it there, at the last minute he makes a little dart. I don't know whether it's to put off Ballard, to knock him off balance, or whether he misreads the flight of the ball. But he makes a little run in front of him, and it sort of knocks them both off balance, and the ball flies over their head. Now, Gabriel's in the right position. He's covering. You had to cover. He's got a man to look after. He's waiting for he's covering the flick on. What he's not expecting is the bounce of the ball, and that bounce of the ball fell very kindly for Sunderland. Nothing really Gabriel can do about it. It wasn't to know Rice wasn't going to go and win that header. And they nod it back in field. And then is the key moment, as you can see it here. He's just quicker, Dan Ballard, isn't he, to read the second ball, to latch onto it. He's much, much sharper than Rice. And he gets there, and his first touch is absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, he lashes it in nice and early. It's a fantastic goal. It's a minor error from Declan Rice. It is a minor error. You can point the finger if you want, but it's a minor error. He's gone to have a little nibble. He doesn't get there, nor does Ballard, and it goes over their head. And then he's slow to react to the second ball. But it was fantastic from Ballard, the touch and the finish. So fair play to him. The second half was big, wasn't it? And I think Arteta obviously got stuck into the players. But what I loved about the second half was the attitude, the character, the personality of the team. They really took the ball by the horns and said, we are going to change this. Give us the ball. And every player wanted to take responsibility. It was like it was on times 1.5 speed. It was like, get it, move it, drive, pin them in. We absolutely suffocated Sunderland and created some fantastic chances. Loads of them. It was so much better. It was actually one of the best halves of football we've produced all season. It was so determined, so steely. And really, on another day, Sunderland might have conceded 4 or 5 goals in that second half. And let me tell you, there won't be many teams that create that many chances in 45 minutes against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. We did get the equaliser, so let's take a look at it. It's an interesting one to break down, actually. So here it is. Here's the setup. The ball comes back to Robin Roofs, the goalkeeper, and they spread and they look to play out. And we lay the trap. I think you can see there that they've got just the 2 centre-halves split behind the ball. And that's it. And you can see our 3 players ahead of them. So the idea, I think, from Mikel Arteta here is, well, if we can create a turnover, then we've got them. We've got them on a 3v2, a 4v2 potentially. We've certainly got an overload potential here. So what we do is we lay a trap. Trossard protects the ball out wide. Saka, quite deep, protects that ball out wide. Eza's high. And we Declan Rice stands off Enzo Lefebvre, I think, in a bid to make the goalkeeper give it to him. And he does give it to him, and it looks like a hospital pass, doesn't it? Because Rice is onto him in a flash. It's a brilliant closing down from Declan Rice. Absolutely outstanding the way he gets stuck in and wins the ball. It's a brilliant trap. And if we now show you what happened next, I think you've all seen it. But what I like most about it, so Rice wins it. Eza plays a very early pass to Marino, which is good. And then Marino just takes a beat. He just pauses, waits for the supporting run of Saka, and it's a perfect timed pass. And the touch from Saka's perfect. It's onto his right foot. There's not much goal to aim at. It's a difficult chance for Bukayo Saka. He'd prefer that on his left. So I think he did ever so well to just drill it low and hard into the bottom corner. It was a terrific finish, and it set the tone for a fantastic second half performance. We were all over them, really. I think Rice and Zubimendi were the players that notably upped their game. I think Calafiori certainly got forward more, created more chaos, which was great. But Rice and Zubimendi were the catalysts, in my opinion. Eza, of course, went higher. So Eza went almost as a striker second half. Rice and Zubimendi in behind, really squeezing up. I want to show you Declan Rice's chalkboards from the first half and the second half. I think it's passing mainly from Declan. These are his passes. So first off, as you see, he's very disciplined, playing that left-sided role. Doesn't really get near the box enough. it's a modest first half chalkboard. He's not heavily involved. Well, let's flip it around to the second half, and there you see he's dominating. He's all over that midfield. He's in the final third. He's on the edge of the box. He's winning the ball. He's giving it. He is helping to suffocate Sunderland and really pin them in. And I thought he did a terrific job, as did Zubimendi. Zubimendi won 10 of 13 duels in the match, and a lot of those were won in the second half. Of course, he had 3 shots as well, Zubimendi, didn't he? The one off the bar was really unlucky. I want to show you his second half pass map, and like Rice, he is right on the edge of the box. Look at this. Look at this. He's really, in the first half, it was much deeper. Second half, look where he is, and look how many passes he's looking to play into the area. He really did take the game by the scruff of the neck. He showed great determination and character, Zubimendi. I was very impressed with him. He's unlucky not to hit the bar with that looping shot. He had another shot on the swivel, and of course, he had this effort. I love the move where Trossard plays it through the legs of the defender. But it's good imagination from Zubimendi to see the space, and he tries to just tickle it, doesn't he? A little glancing shot on the run, and it only just goes past that far post. So we're all over them, and we do get the second goal, and it's an absolutely brilliant one. Trossard having a great season, 4 goals, 4 assists now in all competitions, and it's his first goal in the Premier League for Arsenal from outside the box. It's the first goal he scored in the Premier League outside the box since 2021 when he was at Brighton. 33 consecutive Premier League goals inside the box. He should shoot for more from outside the box. There's no doubt about that, because he absolutely lashed this into the back of the net. And I wanted to show you the part that Calafiori played in it, if you don't mind. So here we go. He gets the ball. And initially, the defender's in a great position. He's showing him down the line. There's cover behind him. There's not a lot of room for Trossard to go. And then you can see at the top of the screen, Calafiori is embarking on a well-timed overlap. And this is a lot of effort for a fullback to do, but it's absolutely vital work. So off he goes. And then, as we flip it across, the defender gets dragged across. So he makes a movement to his right. Then he realises, it's not going there. By which time, look at the space that Trossard has got from absolutely nowhere. He's got 2 or 3 yards of space to hit the ball, and boy, did he hit it. So, yeah, it was a wonderful strike from Leandro Trossard, and he's having a great season. He's first choice for a reason. And I look at him and I see his body language. I think he feels really part of it now. He feels an integral part of this team, and we're starting to see his personality and character come to the fore. Right, so that was the second half until 87 minutes. It was all going brilliantly. And then Regis Lebris, the manager of Sunderland, puts on Eliza Mayenda and goes to 4-2-4. So he goes for broke. 2 strikers, 2 wingers, takes off a centre-half. And Mikel Arteta responds. And I think most managers would have done the same thing in that situation. He's thought, right, they're putting 4 up front. Let's just go centre-half. Mosquera on for Eza. And let's see if we can just see the job through. We were getting a bit tired, I have to say, at this point. I think that the matches were starting to catch up with us. And they were throwing absolutely everything at it. And I get the argument. I really get the argument where people will say, look, we were asking for it. We dropped off deeper and deeper, and we invited Sunderland on, and they punished us. And you could make an argument to say that. But I do want to just show you Arsenal's chalkboard, passes and shots, from 87 minutes to 99 minutes. And as you see here, there was plenty of attacking. We almost responded to the equaliser with a goal, an unbelievable block from Ballard, from Marino. But look, there's plenty of play inside the final third, isn't there? But if we then now show you Sunderland's chalkboard from 87 minutes to 99 minutes, they've got up the pitch, haven't they? They've really pinned us in. We've dropped off deep, and we've said, okay, we're going to back ourselves. We're going to back Gabriel, Calafiori, Saliba, Mosquera. They're going to win everything that you're going to put in the air. And look, they didn't. They only made 1 successful pass into the box in that period, and of course it led to the goal. So let's take a closer look at that goal, shall we? Because it's one that I think is avoidable. And it's one that was an absolute wounder, wasn't it, for Arsenal fans and for Mikel Arteta. So let's take a look at it. This is the initial setup when the ball is delivered from the left. It actually gets blocked there. But if you look along the line there, Zubimendi's dropped in. You've got Saliba, you've got Gabriel, Mosquera and Calafiori. They're all in good positions. And I want to highlight Mosquera because Mosquera is with Brobby, okay, the goal scorer. It's his man. Gabriel's got Mayenda. Saliba's got Ballard with Zubimendi. Good positions, okay. Yeah, there's players out spare wide. That doesn't matter. Let's flip it on then to the moment the ball gets sent into the box and you'll see something has changed. So as the ball gets deflected and moved left, Calafiori automatically comes out and he looks to block the right winger. And then, of course, Mosquera slides across and he picks up the player that Calafiori had. And what Brobby does is he roams and he goes on Gabriel. And Gabriel all of a sudden has two players to look after. He's got the two strikers. He's got Mayenda and he's got Brobby. And that is a problem. What I would like to have seen here is Calafiori stay put and Mosquera absolutely say, Brobby's my man and I'm not moving away from him. But Calafiori's action triggers Mosquera to move left and it puts Gabriel in a really difficult position. What we should do is let the player out wide have it and worry about him delivering it in the box and defending that cross. The danger is in the middle of the box and Gabriel all of a sudden has a 2v1. It gets helped in. They knock it down and Brobby scores. Now, a lot of people are being critical of David Raya for coming off his line and not getting there. I think it was perfectly natural for him to come out and try and make that block. I think it was a natural reaction and it's a fantastic acrobatic finish. But the bottom line is Raya makes the save. He blocks that shot because it comes off Gabriel's head and flicks over him. If it doesn't hit Gabriel's head, it probably hits Raya in the face, but we survive. So I don't think it was a terrible decision to come out from goal. It's easy to say, he should have stayed on his line. I think it probably was the most natural thing for a goalkeeper to do. He made a couple of great saves before as well. I think he had a right to come and he was very unlucky that the ball deflects off Gabriel and goes over him. And it's a really acrobatic effort, isn't it, at the end? Of course, we respond brilliantly, go straight at the other end, Saka to Calafiori, brilliant save, and then Marino's shot's blocked. So I think things conspired against us a little bit here, and overall, there's not as much to beat ourselves up about as maybe we felt at the final whistle. Right, player ratings time. Okay, a lot of people probably would give Raya a 6. I'm not. I'm going to give him a 7 because I think he made some good saves in the game. He was really sharp off his line. Terrific stuff from him. Timber, he's always at least a 7 and he absolutely was here. The same for Calafiori. I think he grew into the game. He's better second half. Created some good moments. Worked well with Trossard down that left. He's a 7. The two centre-halves in this game, I'm going to go 6. I don't think they were ever truly comfortable. Mark and Isidore and dealing with those high balls into the box. So Saliba and Gabriel get 6s. In midfield, Zubimendi and Rice would have been on 6. But the second half, they were probably both 8s. So I'm going to even it out and give them both a 7. Rice at fault, obviously, partially for the first, but he made up for it with that turnover. Zubimendi was excellent in that second half as well. Saka, 7. Great goal. Really, really good finish and was dangerous throughout. Particularly in the second half. Eze was quiet, wasn't he? He had a few shots, but he wasn't at his best. I'm going to give him a 6. Trossard, main man for me. Sensational goal and good play down the left-hand side. Really good play. He's always got a trick in him. He's always trying to make things happen. He's playing great. I'm going to give him an 8. And then up front, Mikel Marino. I loved his assist. Really loved it. But I'm only going to give him a 6. I thought at times he didn't look after the ball as well as he could have done. He was a bit isolated in that first half. Took a big whack, didn't he, early on in the game. He did well to continue in fairness. But yeah, I think it was a 6, maybe 6.5 to 7. But I'm not being too generous with him. Mosquera on late. 6 for him. Look, overall, I think it's disappointing to drop the points. Would have been nice to have been 6 points clear, but 4 points clear given the injuries that Arsenal have had. I think we should absolutely take that. There's a lot of positives from the second half performance. The team stuck together, very united, showed a lot of urgency, a lot of desire and passion to win that game. And they did it knackered. Really, really tired, I think, from the schedule. And I just think if we'd have had just 1 or 2 of Gyökeres, Martinelli, Havertz, Ødegaard, Madueke, Jesus, all these players are out. just one or two of those available on the bench to come on and lift us, to give fresh energy, I think we go on and win that game, 3 or 4-1. So it's frustrating, but I think Arsenal should be absolutely delighted with where we're at, top of the pile after 11 games, 4 points clear, giving ourselves a platform to have an unbelievable season. The rest of the international break has come at the perfect time. Hopefully, by the time we resume, some of those names, if not all of them, will be back fit and available to Mikel Arteta, which would be brilliant, and it would give us so much ammunition for the next block of games up until the new year. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things. I hope it was nice and insightful for you. Please do like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. The more subscribers the better, of course. Really appreciate all the support and the messages too. It is international break, but I will be back with some videos, I'm sure, during the interlull. So until next time, it's bye from me.